The Stanley Cup Finals begin on Wednesday, and I will be giving you guys my preview here of the first round, my predictions, and whatever I get into in this video. So first and foremost, let's get through the preview, then we'll do my predictions, and then I got some Watch of Nordic related stuff that I do need to discuss. So let's just hop in. Obviously, this is a rematch from last year. You guys know that last year, Florida beat the Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals in 7 games. Obviously, they were up 3-0. You know, the whole thing happened where they came back from down 3-0, and there you go. Obviously, Florida ended up taking Game 7 anyways, but this year feels a lot different. Edmonton has home ice advantage, and I highly doubt that it's going to be a 3-0 series again in favor of Florida or the Oilers. I'm not going to lie. One thing that is for certain, and that is that this is probably going 7. I wouldn't be shocked if it goes earlier, but it's probably going 7 if I'm going to be honest with you guys. Now, first off, let's take a look at the Florida Panthers, who won the Stanley Cup last year. I don't really know how you can stage it. They won the cup last year. They're the favorite. They're 47, 31-4 for 98 points in the regular season. They were actually the 3rd seed in the Atlantic Division. What's funny is you're going to notice is that both of these teams were the 3rd seed, ironically enough. They scored 252 goals, allowed 223 in the regular season for a plus 29 difference. So they were very good in the regular season. They had points where they were very not so good. And I'm going to be honest, like they even had stretches throughout the year where they didn't even look like they were going to win a round. And they were kind of on cruise control heading into the playoffs and didn't really matter. They woke up. All 3 lines, all 4 lines have been contributing. It's been incredible to watch. In the regular season, they scored an average of 3 goals per game. In the playoffs, 3.88. Now, I understand it is in less games, but this Florida team, even with the deadline acquisitions that they made in Seth Jones and Brad Marchand, they are even better when it comes to scoring. And they have, like, I swear, like almost 10 players with more than 10 points. And that is just insane. Edmonton, for comparison, has 5. Florida has double that. And that shows the depth on the Panthers here heading into this series. They allowed an average of 2.72 in the playoffs, or in the regular season, sorry. And they have allowed an average of 2.29 in the playoffs. So sorry there. But overall, they've gone a lot better in the playoffs. Again, Bobrovsky has locked in when he's needed to. He's actually been getting progressively hotter and hotter as the playoffs have gone along. It's been great to watch. They have a 23.5 power play percentage in the regular season. In the playoffs, it's gotten slightly worse, 23.2, so it's literally 0.3 worse. It's pretty much the same if we're being honest. And then their PK, 80.7 in the regular season, 87.9 in the playoffs. So again, overall, all of their numbers are very solid. Obviously, when you're a team that is in the Stanley Cup Finals, your numbers need to be pretty damn good. And the same can be said for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, they may not have as many scores like down the lineup as Florida may. They do have guys that can carry the workload for you. 48, 29, and 5 during the regular season, 101 points. They were 3rd in the Pacific Division heading into that series against the LA Kings. They scored 259 goals in the regular season and allowed 236 for a plus 23 difference. In the regular season, they scored an average of 3.16 goals per game. In the playoffs, it's gone up to 4.06. So their goal scoring numbers have gone up there as well. You have guys who are contributing all up and down the lineup. It just isn't as crazy as Florida may be. And I think, again, there's a little bit of an asterisk to that. We'll get into how the teams play in a moment. They allow an average of 2.87 in the regular season. In the playoffs, it's gone slightly lower to a 2.81. So not that big of a difference. But even still, Stuart Skinner's been phenomenal in these playoffs. He's shown us without question he's a great goaltender and has proven a lot of the doubters, including myself, wrong here on this run. They have a 23.7 power play percentage in the regular season. In the playoffs, it's 30%. So their power play is statistically better than Florida's. It's much better. And I think that does matter. I think it definitely matters in terms of the power play. On the PK, it was 78.2 in the regular season. In the playoffs, it's only 66. So I will say I feel like that number's gotten better as it's gone along, but even still, it's not as good as it should be here heading into this final, and especially for a team like Florida that can capitalize on power plays. You really got to lock in here in this final to kind of lock that down. But it's been pretty decent recently, so I'm not going to hold my breath there with that whatsoever. So on Florida's end, they defeated Tampa Bay in 5 games. It surprised everybody. I had Tampa Bay winning that series, but nope. And then they defeated Toronto in Game 7 in the next round. As I predicted, I had that going down if that was to be the case. And then they obviously defeated Carolina 4-1 in the conference finals. Florida's a team where they can just run you down. They will play the physical way. They will hit you. They will lay the body. They won't be afraid to do that. And when it comes to Game 7 or whenever you get eliminated, you have nothing left, essentially. And that's what we saw with Toronto in the main sense. Toronto just came into that Game 7 looking so slow and beat up and tired. And that's what Paul Maurice and these Panthers team did to that Maple Leafs team and the other two as well. Edmonton's a little bit different. They're not scoring at a higher rate that Florida is, although they are scoring more average goals per game. I feel like with the Oilers, they kind of run a defensive clinic, and I noticed it a lot in the Western Conference Finals where they would play Dallas and they would essentially just hold Dallas in their own zone and just not let them get anything. Like, they would pressure offensively and, like, not really, like, get shots on net or take, like, high-danger opportunities. No, they would have, like, 3 guys back at all times. They would have 2 guys go in there and just pressure on Dallas. It was insane to watch. I don't think I've ever seen really anything like it, to be honest with you, in my era of watching hockey. It's kind of unreal. They defeated LA 4-2. I still believe that Jim Hiller just kind of turned a switch on for the Oilers and got them to the Cup final. They've only lost 2 games since then. They defeated Vegas 4-1, and they defeated Dallas 4-1 subsequently in round 2 and round 3 of these playoffs. It's been phenomenal to watch, honestly. It's been actually incredible to see the Oilers on this run. Both of these teams have been phenomenal, and I could not be happier that we're getting a rematch of last year's final. I just could not be happier, simply being put. Now, let's take a look at the scores for both teams, and I did a little bit differently than I have been doing. I'm not including the regular season stats. I'm including just the playoff stats, but we're doing 9 players for each team subsequently. So I thought it'd be more fair to do that since this is the Stanley Cup Finals, and I think they deserve more coverage for sure, as obviously these are the 2 teams that made it that far. So first and foremost, let's go through Florida's side of things. They have Alexander Barkov, who is first in scoring with 6 goals, 11 assists for 17 points in 17 playoff games. Again, you're going to notice me say a lot here that it's not necessarily the star power, like the one-man star power here with this Panthers team. It's spread all up and down the lineup. You look at these players, you have guys with 10 or more points all the way down to, I think, like 10th in scoring. It's actually insane how many guys these players have, and it's unreal. But Barkov leads the charge. Sam Bennett is next up then, 10 goals, 6 assists for 16 points. Bennett is like essentially locking himself up to like a $9 million contract, I would say, whether it's with Florida or with another team. Bennett's been phenomenal. There's no doubt about that. And I think he's been great to watch here for sure. Leads the team in goals. Matthew Tkachuk, who is very interesting. He was very slow in round 2. He woke up in round 3. 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points. And that's the other thing. I've been saying it on the TikToks. I've been saying it on the recaps that I've been posting on here. What's crazy with Tkachuk and Florida is that when you shut down one line, another line will wake up. And honestly, I see it a lot with Cup teams, but I don't know if I've seen anything to this extent with Florida. Like, they have guys who can score all up and down the lineup. And whenever you shut down one line, another line can wake up and just carry the workload that night. It's unbelievable. Carter Verhaeghe, 6 goals, 8 assists, 14 points. Verhaeghe looked a little bit slow in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. I even said in my conference finals preview, I'm like, if he wakes up simply being put, like, it's over. And there you go. He has, I think, 3 goals in the conference finals. He now has 14 points. He's been great, especially in that 3rd round. Brad Marchand, next up then, was a deadline acquisition. Got him for a first-round pick. 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points. Marchand's been incredible to watch as well. Again, just Marchand, we know what the playoff player he is. You see the numbers. He's like top 5 in all-time playoff points. or current playoff points, not all time. He's been phenomenal. Sam Reinhart, who's been a little bit slower but has missed some games, 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points. I believe he's good to go. I haven't heard anything saying that he's not. I know he did miss game 4, I believe, but overall, he's been great in these playoffs. A little bit slower, but the rest of the team's playing really good as well. It doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. And then Eetu Luostarinen, 4 goals, 9 assists for 13 points there as well. Again, Luostarinen's been great as well in that third line. That line of like Marchand, Lundell, and Marchand and Luostarinen has been incredible. It's been incredible. Every line on this team has been phenomenal, honestly. And there's going to be players that I mention here that I'm not going to say later on. So it's kind of wild. I'll make sure to give him a shout out here at the end of this. Anton Lundell, 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points. Lundell's been great as well. Again, part of that third line. And then you also have Aaron Ekblad there too, with 3 goals, 8 assists, 11 points there too. Shout outs to like Evan Rodriguez and Nate Schmidt and Gustav Forsling. Like, this is a phenomenal team. And as well as that too, you see the rotations that they have in like the fourth line where they were bringing in Gajovic and they were bringing in Nosek and Greer, and you have guys who are scoring goals there as well down there. It's kind of wild, the depth that Florida has. And compared to Edmonton, I will say they're way deeper. They are way deeper than the Oilers are, but that is not to count out the Oilers there whatsoever. You have Connor McDavid leading the way, 6 goals, 20 assists, 26 points. Again, I've been saying the stat a lot here. He becomes like the 4th player to have 20 consecutive points in 4 consecutive seasons. It's actually crazy in the playoffs. I can't believe that list is only 4 guys, too. It's kind of weird to think. I feel like there'll be a few more guys on that list. But McDavid, we know what McDavid is. I'm not even going to spend that much time on him. We know the way he can play. I will say, though, I mean, I'm going to say this, like maybe he should just show up more in the games that really matter, like game 6 and 7 of the Cup final last year. He didn't have any points. Who cares? I mean, like, again, like, I think, honestly, we know what McDavid can do. We know he's going to show up in that big moment. He's not like Matthews or, Marner, where we have to worry about that. McDavid will show up. He always does. Leon Draisaitl also always shows up. I will say, Edmonton did not have Draisaitl in the final last year. They did, but he didn't score a lot. I think he was dealing with a big injury that really prevented him from doing anything. As far as I know, he is healthy. 7 goals, 18 assists for 25 points as well. He is just behind McDavid in that number. Again, Draisaitl's been great. Without question, we know what Draisaitl is. We know what Draisaitl can do. I mean, those two guys, we know who they are. We know who they are, honestly. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 5 goals, 13 assists for 18 points in this playoff run. Again, Nuge, I think, had like 8 points in round 3. Like, he was great in that series. And I think that is overall something that we need to keep an eye on here, too, because he's been hot. And whenever you're hot heading into these series, you typically do very well. So I think Nuge is going to be a big player here in this series. Evan Bouchard, who I think, again, the defensive questions have been there a lot, but I really do think he's locked in. I think, again, the majority of this Edmonton team defensively has played very well. 6 goals, 11 assists for 17 points in this playoff run as well. Bouchard's been great too. Again, I have no doubts that Bouchard will play good offensively. We know what that guy can do, and he's been great here in these playoffs this year. Evander Kane, and what people forget about Evander Kane is that this guy missed all of the season this year. The whole regular season, he didn't play. And in this playoff run, where he's missed a couple of games, by the way, 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points. It's actually insane. How he has come in here and has connected so well. It's great. And I think that really shows the type of player that he is. And it makes me intrigued to see what he's going to do in this final, because he's been hot. And another player who has been really hot? Corey freaking Perry. He is tied for goals on this team. 7 goals, 3 assists for 10 points. He is like 39 years old, pushing 40, and is putting up these numbers. Again, he's not like putting up insane numbers, like he's not having like 20 points, but still 7 goals. That is, it's without question one of the better playoff performers, one of the more underrated guys I've seen. I think people kind of forget how good Perry is historically in the playoffs. This is his 5th Stanley Cup final in the last 6 years. Good God. 5 in the last 6 years. Some players never make it to 1. That is just unfathomable, honestly. And I think for Perry, this has to be it for him. Not in terms of like his career, like he has to win it this year. Like if he loses another Cup final, I think he might just have to retire. He's not going to retire. Connor Brown, 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points. Brown's been great. I will say this, though. He is a game-time decision heading into Game 1, so you got to keep that on the back burner there. He may not play in Game 1, but we'll see. Brown's been great, too, there as a penalty killer and a secondary scoring type of player. Adam Henrique, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points there as well. Henrique's been great, too, without question. And then Jake Wallman, a deadline acquisition. 1 goal, 5 assists for 6 points there as well. Wallman's been good there on the back end. Not really scoring a ton, but still playing some solid defense. There's a couple things to keep in mind here heading into this series. On the Edmonton side, you will not have Zach Hyman, which is just detrimental to this team. It really is. It sucks not having him. And you also are going to get Ekholm back for a full series. Ekholm played 1 game in Game 5 of this playoffs. I think getting him back is absolutely huge. Remember when we said when he got injured that the Oilers were cooked? He's back and they're in the Stanley Cup final. It's actually crazy to think. They also have guys like Trent Frederick, too, who can play good on the 4th line end there as well. There's a few other guys I didn't mention. Kasperi Kapanen, too. You have some good guys on this roster. Podkolzin as well. This is a good team. These two teams are a team of destiny. And what it might come down to, you could argue, is the goaltending. You could really argue that. Now, you have Sergei Bobrovsky in net for the Panthers, 12-5-0, with a 2.11 and a .912. I said it once. I'm going to say it again. He's not the sexiest when it comes to his overall playoff stats, but when he locks in, he locks in. And I think, honestly, he has better stats than Skinner, so maybe that argument isn't even that good at this point. But Bobrovsky is Bobrovsky. He's a Stanley Cup winning goaltender, has 3 Vezinas under his belt. We know what this guy can be. Stuart Skinner was here last year. He struggled through points in the final. He got really better towards the end. He struggled at points in the playoffs as well. This year, 6-4, a 2.53 and a .904. The narrative for a while was that Skinner would either get a shutout or he would allow 5 goals and 20 shots. He's changed that narrative to he can allow goals and sustain it and win. And I think, honestly, seeing that, I really like that from Skinner. And I think that that is different from what we saw last year with him. So this is going to be a phenomenal series. Honestly, I went on for 20 minutes here just talking about it. I think this is going to be an incredibly high action. It's going to be a high scoring, but at the same time, the goalies are going to be playing very well. It's going to be a physical series. These teams don't like each other. I can't see, and I'm going to be honest, there might be some people who disagree with this. I can see both teams winning the cup. I can see both teams winning the cup here for sure. I can see Florida getting their second ever cup, winning back-to-back. I can see the Oilers breaking the 33-year drought and their own 35-year drought of not winning a Stanley Cup this year. I can see that happen as well. But what I can't see is the Oilers losing 2 finals in a row. I know I just said I could see Florida winning the cup. I can't see the Oilers losing 2 finals in a row. I think they take this in 7. And I'm going to be honest, I think the experience from last year, you see it a lot. You see it a lot of times. And we saw it back in 2009 when the Red Wings played the Penguins, when that Crosby team and that Crosby regime made that final for the first time. They lost to the Red Wings, but they learned from that final. They came back in 2009 and they won. And I think that is what we're going to see here in this. The Oilers with McDavid in their first ever final with him on the team. They lose it in 7. They get that experience and they come back here in this year's final and they win this one. That is my prediction. I have Oilers in 7. I could see Florida winning it though. I just don't know if I can see the Oilers losing back-to-back finals. I don't know if I can see it in my heart, honestly. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the Watch with Nordic streams here. I kind of tailed off in the Western Conference Finals just with school was really busy. I didn't have a lot of time to make the streams that I wanted to. I must say, though, we will be live for every single game except for game one. And I hate to say we're missing game one. I would love to have missed game two or game three even. But we're missing game one because I'm graduating high school. So I obviously cannot do a live stream when I'm graduating high school. I would love for it to be any other way. I would love for my graduation to be on Thursday. It's not impossible. I could wake up tomorrow and it's raining and we won't do it because it's outside. But as of right now, we are not streaming game one, which is unfortunate, but we will be live for games 2 through 7 if necessary. And I'll say this too. All games start at 8 p.m. We'll start the streams at 7:55 like we have done all season. There will be Nordcast and Nordblockpod episodes uploading at 8 a.m. The days following the games. So let's just say, for example, game one's on June 4th. There will be a podcast at 8 a.m. on June 5th. I'll tell you guys that right now. As well as that too, we will be donating some money to charity this time around. The last couple of years, we didn't do that. We did it. We did it for the first time when we did the thing in honor of Brad Scheifele, Mark Scheifele's father, in that Game 6 between the Stars and the Jets. This time around, we're doing it a little bit different. So in games 2 through 7, all of the streams and the donations that we make in those streams will go to one of, if not maybe both. I have to decide depending on the amount of money we have or amount of money we get donated. It will go to one of the Ben Stelter Foundation if the Oilers win. Ben Stelter, the young kid who passed away due to cancer, was an Oilers icon. Or if Florida wins, it will go to the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital in Florida, where the Panthers go and visit all the time. So I'm hoping to raise some money here for a good cause. What's more likely than not is I'm probably doing both, if we're being honest. We'll see, though. I'm not 100% sure. It really depends on the money. Like, I don't want to donate like $2 or however many dollars to DiMaggio and then $2 to the other place. Like, for example, like if we get enough money to donate to both, I'll do to both. But right now, depending on what team wins, that'll be the charity. So it's shaping up to be a great final, a great streaming content here on the channel. We got plenty of stuff coming. Thank you all for watching this video. It's 22 minutes long. It's the longest final we've done this year. But if you enjoy, make sure to like the video down below. And please do consider subscribing to join the content here. The streams will be on YouTube. I'll announce them the morning of. But anyways, that is it for me. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.